everyone, guess what? Let me turn on a little light here. We are here today with Odjur because I'm dumb and American. They are a killer. How do I really put it? Just really melodic, heavy, like death metal with some blackened influence. Band out of Sweden. Um, Thank you both for taking time out of your evening over there to hang out and chat with me.
Sure.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Tom.
Hell yeah. So you guys like the band is super new. It's three of you, right?
Yep.
Started last year?
Last year, yes, that's true. But we've been always been death metal at heart. So it was like on time, we did something. So been in the making for some time. But yeah, we're pretty new. We started last year, and then we had an intense year, I would say. Now setting the sound and look and feel, and also getting some shit out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's so much that goes into a band. People don't, I mean, when you're a kid, you're like, I just want to play music. I don't care.
Yeah.
Right.
Then you're older and you're like, no, it needs to like look and sound a certain way. Like, oh, okay, I get it now. Like, oh shit. So
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we've arrived at a point of our life where we have wives and kids and all that.
Yeah,
It's it's taken care of, and it's going well, and now we finally got to making some music and getting more into the metal area of music, and yeah, we're really exploring this together now, which is yeah, exciting time, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's really cool for me as a listener and a fan of music to hear new music. Like I feel like the couple of singles that you all have released, they've been done really really well. It's very melodic. There are times that it reminds me of um, Amon Amarth, but not quite. It's just like little segments here and there. Like you guys have your own identity, which is super nice.
Thank you. I
Cool.
appreciate that. I mean, Amon Amarth is obviously one of our main sources of inspiration. They're also a Swedish band, and I mean, we've been following them and you know listening. And as also Arch Enemy is also the melodic part is also a huge inspiration. So you just saying that made my evening. So
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
happy for that. And
just
then
just
to tie
being
into what Peter said before, I mean, just the storytelling challenge to explain to your wife that. So now I'm going to spend some time starting a death metal band. Yes, and I'm going to build a studio. Having that, it's. But I think everyone is on board. Everyone at home, kids and wife wearing merch, and we're sending out to friends. Yeah, it's good. So it's been well received also within the inner circle, which is most important.
Oh, for
yeah.
sure. It's really hard to do something when you don't have the support at home.
Yeah, true. It
Yeah,
is.
So
that's key.
what made you guys like come together last year?
Well, I actually met Peter at the parking lots on a store, like a store for car equipment and accessories. And we haven't seen each other. We went to high school together, and then we have been in contact, from now and then, but we haven't seen or heard from each other for a long time. I don't know how many years, but at least what is it, 20, 15, or
Yeah, something like that.
a lot
Yeah.
of years. And then I just started to buy some guitars and play more and more. So I saw him. I've started to play music, and let's do something. And we decided in the parking lot, and then we just took it from there. And I built a studio at home and started to experiment a little bit with different plugins and setups of guitars and sound, and then like a blessing from the sky. Just Peter just was standing there, and they're like, "Do you growl? Can you scream?" He's like, "No, I've never tried it, but let's go." And then I mean, you heard he sounds like a fucking orc, So it's
Yes.
it's good.
I was like the revelation in the parking lot, just at exactly the right timing.
It's funny though, like that synergy or synchronicity or whatever you want to call it. You don't think about it, but like it really takes so many elements for two people to end up in the same spot and
Yeah.
have similar interests.
Yeah.
Even especially after not seeing each other in 15, 20 years. Like, holy shit!
That was crazy, actually.
Yeah, it's quite amazing.
And
so when we do a retrospective, like when we have released a couple of albums, and then we're gonna talk about reminisce the parking lot. We will probably, do a painting and album cover of that parking lot. And no, but it's as you say. I mean, it's what are they all? So like stars aligning, planets, and there we were. Yeah. So and then everything went pretty fast, actually. We had a couple of songs. Peter came over to my place in the studio and just tried to scream and growl, and and it started sounding better and better, and then we just threw ourselves in there without really knowing what to do, and now we just have a lot of fun with it, and we try to release. We have a lot of songs, actually. We have written a lot of songs. We have a lot of songs ready, and then we are trying to record and put the song out every second month or like every quarter at least. So we have some momentum going and trying to build a universe visually as well with the graphics and videos and stuff. Yeah. So and we're just having a lot of fun with it.
So let me ask you, right? Like on the release strategy with singles, would you rather do singles or would you rather I mean, obviously, I guess you'd rather do singles, but do you think it's better to do singles, or do you think it's better to do a couple of singles and then like an EP or a full length or something like that?
I mean, well, you have something on your mind, Peter, or not?
No, I was just going to say, I think we're getting the feeling of that, and in my view, at least, we're building up to an album. Eventually, I mean, I'm an album type of guy, and I really love the concept and all the visual stuff around it, and the storytelling, and the musical landscape of today is more of a single based, the streaming, but in our genre, I think, and also, I mean, since we are who we are. I most definitely think we want to build up to an album, or that's the goal. And it's quite neat with the genre of death metal. An album shouldn't be more than like 30-40 minutes, right? So it's
probably like I think 40, 45 is probably the max.
Yeah.
Agreed. So it's really hard, but that it raises a really good like marketing question doing that. Like, what works better? For talking to like PR people, what I've found is like for larger artists, the longer campaigns work really, really well for album sales. For smaller artists, you want to like a couple of singles and then here's the thing, right? And the reason for that is that thing starts bringing you income because the theory behind it is you have physical media for sale at that point.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, for us, it's also, I mean, we have, as Peter mentioned, and we talked about before, we have families and other, I run a couple of businesses, and Peter also have a busy work life. So it's all about also having time to do it. And I mean, I'm also an album kind of guy. I also like to go into a band, listen to the album, explore the universe. I think that is awesome. But I must say, for us, it's been a good thing that we can do a single. We can explore, we can learn new things. We can test the sound, like the first single, Glory to the Fallen. We did the best we could at that point of time, right? And then start building the universe, and then we learn a lot of stuff. And then for the second Evil Rising, we had a better recording setup. We could prep the tracks better for mixing. We could explore. We could do the video. We can do a lot. So we learn a lot of stuff. So for us right now, it's good because it led us to explore and learn a little bit. And now we've just recorded our third. That's going to be released 21st of November. We're sending that to mix, and that song is like twice as good as the last one. So I think we also learning a lot of new stuff, right? So for us, even if we would, I mean, if you would ask me, yes, of course, we would love just to go record an album, do that, push it out, and But for us right now, it's been pretty good actually. Yes, learning stuff, I think you can hear it also in the songs, especially now the later one. Like we figured some stuff out also with our sound. So even though we'd like to do albums, I think this approach is not bad for us, and also to start raising a little bit of awareness. And now we've been fortunate that I own a creative agency, so we have film guys and we have marketer, we have designers and stuff. So and that also allows us to explore a little bit what we can do and how we can market and stuff like that. So for us, it's been okay to do singles, but our plan has been that we're going to release a couple of singles now, and then when we have found like, yes, this is the way we do it, we have calibrated our sound, what we want to do. I think we're just going to collect those and then do a relaunch of an album, and then most probably re-record the first song because we've learned so much, right? So it's going to be so I think for us, for the exploration, right now it's okay, but of course we would like to release an album.
I think that's it. It's really cool also, like for a fan of music to see the progression, right? So I don't know if you guys are on TikTok, but if you're like, hey, look, this is what we're learning as a band doing these things. What's the worst that can happen? Some people are going to be like, oh, that's stupid. You should have a finished product. And other people are going to go, fuck that. That's pretty cool. Like I'm learning because they're learning.
Yeah. And I just listened to a few recordings from a couple of months ago on the guitar. And like, I'm so much better at playing guitar now, because I practice every day when, and I try to learn new stuff. And I'm like, so now I just want to go back and re-record some stuff. So I think like for us getting up to a level, I think it's good the way what we're doing now. And then, hopefully we can continue to develop. We have so much to give, I feel. We have a lot of great songs already prepped and in a pipeline. And and also, I think you can hear the growling from the first, Peter's growl from the first to the second, also like, and in the new one, it's like even
better. Now Gaze
from Hell.
Like, God, I want to hear that now. Jesus.
Yeah.
I listened to Glory of the Fallen and then, follow it by Evil Rising and did it, the other way. And you could see, even, the songwriting itself really grows between those two songs also, which is, I think it's super cool, again, as just a fan of music and watching people like learn and progress, like that's pretty fucking neat.
Yeah. What's cool today also, since the technology is so available, right? You can explore. We don't have a big label chasing us down for the next single sounding like this or that, and we can just explore and have fun with it. And our direction is basically our gut feeling. Do we get a kick out of this? And that's been, especially with the latest or the coming single, it's been really that feeling of excitement and joy, and we just want to get this out there because we really dig this track. And that's the fun part.
Yeah, it's it's kind of be kind of a pain in the ass. Like, okay, we recorded it, now we wait.
Yes. The reason is we're working with a really good mixer, and he's more like a mentor, I would say, because we learned so much stuff when we talked to him. His name is Dion. He's from Greece, and he worked with some great bands, and he does some amazing stuff. But every time we talk or we have a conversation, we just learn new stuff. So that's also been a really good thing for us, finding someone that can also educate a little bit. This is how you everything from like, here would be nice to have some keys just to, you know, fatten it up a little bit. Fantastic. How do we do that? And then like, here we need to think about this when you record the bass. Perfect. How, you know, so I think for us, that's been a huge part of our, I don't know if we should call it a success yet, but we have, you know, we're growing on lists, you know, streams all the time and views on YouTube. So I think like, and he's been a big part of that, just getting us professional, you know. So we
Well,
really
you know,
appreciate that.
I think that's so important, right? Like as a new band or new artist, you know, is finding those people who are willing to share
Yeah.
those, you know, those little tips and tricks or the
Yeah.
knowledge that they've learned over the years, because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I just, for someone having the experience, and then it saves so many hours of just fucking things up, right? And like, think about this. And you would never thought about it even. Like, so that's been great. And I think for us, having him would have been, you know, huge. And yeah, so we're really grateful for that, actually. Yeah.
And I think we found quite a good process now. Also, me and Gustaf. Usually, Gustaf comes up with a riff or the bass for a track, and then we get together in Gustaf's studio and lay down some vocals. And like this next song, we did one recording of the whole vocal, all the vocals for that track, and then we listened back and was not really super happy with with some of the stuff, especially the verses, and then it's just going back, redo, and get back into it and get that excitement. So that's also since today you don't need to schedule a week in a super expensive studio because you have all you need.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's so amazing like how far technology has come with, especially like home recording. You know, you record on your computer and it can sound like you're in a big, huge, you know, room, so you get the bigger drum sounds or, you know, whatever. It's super, super neat to see that.
And then I think because sometimes I feel that's also, it's amazing, but it's also a little bit scary because, I mean, metal and you know, that kind of music and what we're playing, I mean, for me it's so important. Everything we play, and Peter and I talk about it all the time, we need to be able to play it live, and it should sound, you know, maybe even better. So like, not having technology steer the sound or too much, like it's still based on, you know, people meeting, playing, having a good time, getting into it, feeling it, and playing it, and then use it. I think sometimes it could be easy to go into, you know, you see videos of how people record and small snippets and stuff. For me, it's important. We record it, you play it, you feel good about it, and so it feels, you know, real and genuine. I don't want to be a studio product that's too, you know, polished, you know.
Yeah, it kind of, you know, when you just are like, okay, we're gonna do the entire song playthrough with guitar, it gives you that like live element, right?
Yeah.
Like I talked with Chris Pervelis from Internal Bleeding yesterday, and he said something very, very similar, right? He said, you know, we had the opportunity to sit down and we could absolutely make sure this guitar track is perfect, but instead of having all the punch ins, I'm like, I'm just going to play it through, and when I feel it, that it feels right, that's it, mistakes and all, right? Like, here it is. Because you want that live feeling. You don't want to be that product of the studio. Because
and I mean, and it's a thin line, right? Because I feel the same way, that, you know, I want to play, maybe I don't play the whole song, but at least the riffs as a whole I play, so I feel like it's genuine. And then also not trying to get caught up on like, oh, it needs to sound perfect, everything. And like, but I mean, it's tough. I'm a perfectionist in everything I do, and you know, but I do my job and other stuff. So for me, it's been a journey. Like, enjoy it, record it, make it, you know, being happy with it. You know what I mean? That's been really a process for me, and I'm super happy about it now that I've learned to let that go a little bit. And I
Dude,
think
it's hard as a perfectionist to go,
yeah,
okay, hold
fuck
on,
yeah.
I gotta I gotta let this go.
Yeah, and then I mean for us also we don't. I wish I was much better at playing guitar, and I practice a lot. But there's some stuff also like it won't be perfect. I will never do perfect, and that's not the goal even. The goal is that it sounds cool and it sounds good and it feels nice, and then being happy with that. And then I think Peter also helps me with that a little bit. In the
Gives you a
theme
kick
song,
in the
we
ass,
just
like,
cut 70%
good.
of the solo. He just like, no, we don't, so it's good.
Yeah, but I think we are each other's producers in the studio, and that's very, it's very helpful, and I think it's a good way of reality checking now and then. And,
Yeah.
I mean, for me, when it comes to the vocals and the growling, as Gustaf mentioned, I'm very new to the growling. I've been using my voice. Not professionally, but I've been singing a lot and playing a lot of different styles, but growling is new to me, so I'm super humble in.
So, are you going and looking at watching videos to see how you can get better with your growls?
I mean the journey started off on YouTube, absolutely. But I mean,
like everything. What's on fucking YouTube? What's up with that?
And when Gustaf asked me if I could growl, I spontaneously said, "Well, I don't know, but I'm happy to try it." And I think we felt the first couple of times in the studio that okay, this is probably gonna work. But then as everything new, it needs a lot of practice, and it's a whole different. I mean, you want to get across a powerful sound and a deep sound, but what I've experienced so far is that doesn't require that amount of power that you might think. I mean, compared to singing, if you want to sound powerful, you use a lot of air and you use a lot of muscles that you don't really can or should use in the growling. It's more a relaxed, at least in my style, it's a more relaxed approach. And that's probably something that's gonna evolve over time as well.
Yeah, well, I think going into it, relaxed and staying on that, it's going to help the longevity of your voice, or at least I would assume so. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I fucking suck at singing, so.
but I think it's also connecting back to the thing Gustaf said about playing live. I mean, that's of course a common goal for us, and then it needs to be sustainable. If you are to play an hour or let's say 45 minutes live, you really need to be able to do that and sound good from start to end.
Yeah. So that raises a really good question. I'm not sure what it's like as a beginning band in the live scene, like over there. Over here, you're looking at like a 20-minute set, maybe a 30-minute set if everything is like really awesome. What's that like over there?
Good question. we haven't really, our goal is obviously to meet people. I mean, the first thing when we started playing is like, what if we can write something that someone else that we don't know can listen to and feel something, and then they feel good about it. I mean, we're doing that now. We're having a lot of streams now every day, and we got a lot of positive feedback. So fantastic. Next level, obviously, is if we could play in front of these people. I mean, that would be amazing. And we have this summer we went to see a couple of bands locally and in festivals here, and I think you're right. They had like maybe between 20-30 minute sets, and I think we have the songs for it. That we're just going to release a few songs, but I think that's probably what we're trying to do. Get a few more songs so we can have then a 20 to 30 minutes tops, and do those well. And that's the first thing we need to do.
Well, if you've already got the songs, it sounds like, if you already have the songs, you just practice them and then, get out there and do it, right? Like
Yeah.
you're right. I see a lot of like really good feedback on what you all have have released so far, which is, hell, that's freaking awesome for a band that's a year old, and you guys not doing this, not having a history of being in the death metal scene is fucking wild.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah,
I mean, one thing over here, I guess it's the same over in the States, that there's been, I mean, I think the pandemic hit the venues quite hard. So there's these big tours, arena tours. They are still happening, and then there's these really small like basement stuff. But the mid section is really shrinking, which is sad. But I guess we are starting off in the basement section anyway. So
we go basement and then that's what
exactly.
Yeah, basement to arena. Yeah. Yes,
that's the plan.
No,
well,
yeah.
it's very similar here though. Like a lot of the mid-sized venues, at least in our town, is like we have really small venues, like 100 cap.
Yeah,
and it jumps. I mean, I guess I don't know. We're actually pretty lucky, I guess, because I'm thinking about it, and it goes 100 to like 300 to 500 to 700 to 900 to
all right,
like 2,000. It goes from like 900 to 2,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
For us,
we should start off there then.
Yeah.
So maybe
come on over. You guys can sleep in my
over.
basement. I don't give a shit.
Let's do that. Let's go over. Yeah, and I think, but I think it's also waking up a little bit, the mid scene. I mean, we've been following a few bands now that have been, that we also look for inspiration and what they have done and stuff like that. And we've been fortunate in Sweden. There's a lot of death metal bands. And I mean the genre.
I don't believe it.
The genre also, like, it's very established. So like there's a lot of people listening, and so it's been good just to look and see. And now this mid venues, I mean, there are some stuff happening at least. We're going to go in November to see a couple of bands, and there's going to be around 1,000 people there. So it's not a huge one, but so there is, like, I think.
I mean, for death metal shows, like here for death metal, that is a solid show. That's a really good show. Most that I see are 700 to 900.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the thing with Sweden, right? Obviously we've seen Amon Amarth, we have seen Arch Enemy, and those, they are packed. We're talking about 10,000 people. Those are huge. So we've been fortunate having a lot of those bands, and I know Peter and I was also at Opeth in Copenhagen. Packed and amazing. Yeah, it was like insanely good. The first tour they did after COVID, I think. So I mean, that's the good thing here. We've been exposed to it. It's a very easy accessible and go listen to these kind of bands and see. And obviously, you get a little bit anxious. You also want to do it, right?
Well, like I think that's where you guys are really lucky. Is that like the bands that, I mean, I feel like, and I could be wrong, but the bands are a lot more accessible to you there, as far as like shows. Like Amon Amarth, they just did a tour with who did they tour? I don't remember who they toured with over here. Was it
Pantera?
Huh?
Didn't they tour with like Pantera or something? Maybe, yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna look.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have the information face.
Meet the internet face.
Yeah, meet the internet. Damn, who were they? Were, I feel like they were just with like Cannibal Corpse or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that might be.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think it was. It was one of the real classical bands.
Yeah, and that was yep, I think it was. I think it was Cannibal Corpse, Amon Amarth, Carcass, and someone else. So it was a really solid
Yeah.
lineup.
Mm.
I don't know. So, I've been to more shows than I could even tell you about this year. Um,
Which one has
God,
been the best then? If you know.
I I travel a lot, so I live kind of like in the Midwest is what we call it. So I live in Louisville, Kentucky,
Mm,
and
okay.
I tend to travel. Like I go up to, like Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Tennessee, um, and if I'm really feeling froggy, I'll fly across the country.
Okay.
But my wife's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "I'm going to LA. I'm going to go watch whatever." Really? Yeah, I'll be back. Um, but so the accessibility for me is I feel like it's very different than you. Like the market that I'm in is I think would be considered like a B or a C market because we are so small,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but we have louder than life. So that helps pump. But if a band isn't going to louder than life or any of the festivals, I typically
Yeah.
Yeah.
have to travel for the show.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
think we are quite fortunate. I mean, we live in the south of Sweden, and that's very close to Copenhagen. And most of the big tours end up in Copenhagen.
Yeah.
And then when there are some festivals, also there's a big heavy metal festival in south of Sweden called Sweden Rock.
Mhm.
They just announced they will have Maiden next year for their tour, so that's something, really something.
yeah,
The,
we had Bruce Dickinson at Louder Than Life this year.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, we honestly like Louder Than Life had a pretty solid lineup because it was like Slayer and Lamb of God,
Uh,
Carcass, Cannibal Corpse. Like Thursday was all fucking just super heavy. And
but
the
where do
rest
you go from there? You have that lineup. It's hard to like, what the fuck do you do, right?
nowhere. You have
yeah,
to go like the complete opposite
Yeah.
direction to throw people off. Like, haha, heavy last year. This is all pop this year. Like, what the
Yeah.
no? So wild. What what's been like your best concert experience, like going and seeing a band?
yeah. What pops into mind now? Speaking of Maiden, is Iron Maiden in early 2000 in Roskilde Festival. It's I don't know if you know about the Roskilde Festival, but
Yeah.
it's quite a big festival with I don't know 20, 30, 50,000 people. But I remember specifically Bruce Dickinson in the I mean the big stage there is the orange stage it's called, and there's I mean it's a big like a basically a big tent, and it's like a bowl, and it's I don't know how far up in the sky, but it's a the lights setting up in the way high up. It's very high, and Bruce Dickinson was climbing up on the top and doing a song from up there, and it was like, okay, how is this guy alive? And but he made it through that, and now it's like 25 years later, he's still
Still
still at
doing
it.
it. Uh,
Dude, one thing I will give to Bruce, one, he's a great vocalist, right? Obviously, he's got a
Absolutely.
tremendous like history in music, but
Yeah,
his
yeah,
energy on
yeah.
stage, even at this age, is
yeah,
we I saw Maiden a couple of years ago, and it was like running back and forth across this
yeah, yeah.
huge stage and on it, like holy
Perfect pitch
shit.
all the time, and yeah, it's astonishing, really.
Yeah, like good for
That's,
him.
that's pretty cool. But for me, I've been going to in the last couple of years three Arch Enemy shows. So for me, Arch Enemy is like the mix of the heavy parts and the melodic, layers they have. Fuck, I love that. And I think so for me, I think that's my biggest source of inspiration from like the songwriting part is Mikael Amott and Arch Enemy. I think he's just fantastic. So whenever I can go, I go and see them, and they like never disappoint. And they sound so good live. It almost gets me a little bit frustrated because like it's so good, and for me,
we need to
they've been doing it
go.
for what, 35 years? Like
it's insane.
Yeah,
they better be sounding good after 35 years.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
If you're doing it and you suck, something's up, man,
Yeah, but it's such an achievement also, keeping up the songwriting and
that
it
level,
sounds new and fresh. And I mean, the latest last album, it's amazing in my view.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's the same thing at Amon Amarth. I saw them as well, and I mean, it's just like this power, and also with the glimpse of the eye, touching this Viking thing and all. I think it's, I love that the universe building thing and having the ship and shit. I think it's pretty cool, and that was also a really good experience.
When you see them over there, do they get in the mosh pit and do the rowing thing?
When I saw them, I've seen them twice, and the first time I actually saw them in a really small club in Malmö, really small. There was not many people at all. I think I would be surprised if it's with even 1,000 people there, maybe 500. So it's really small, but you were very close, and you won the vocalist. He's a pretty big dude with his horn and mead, and it was like it was very close. And that was there was definitely a mosh pit, but I don't think we had room to row. Actually, we were so packed. It was more like something like this. But that was an amazing show. And at the same venue, we saw Yngwie Malmsteen.
Yeah,
Peter and I, we saw Yngwie Malmsteen, like way back, and being from Sweden and playing an instrument with strings, you need to somehow have a relationship to Yngwie Malmsteen. It's just how it is.
I don't know. Like he's a tremendous player for what he does, but it does not speak to me at all.
No, and like it's not even close to the genre we do. But like you just when you play guitar, you can't really avoid it. You're touching somehow because like the playing, But obviously we moved on, and now we And you can listen to the results. We left it behind.
Yeah. So you guys feel like from Glory to Evil Rising to the next song that there's a very visual like progression that you guys are taking. Now, is that across the board with songwriting and recording tips and all that, or is it there like one area that is really focused on?
So I think, first of all, the songwriting has been like I think we've learned a little bit how to build a song, in this genre. So I think it has more dynamics to it. It's a little bit catchier. We have the verses and the chorus, or you can really hear the difference. So it gets more of a hook, I would say. And then the guitar playing, I just been better at playing guitar and bass. I just played more. And when I sent to Dion just a reference mix, it's like, good, this is like level up. The playing is, so we did something right there. That was really nice. It's like, and then I think also for the vocals, it's like it's on another level. It's more, dynamics, I think, in the vocals, and we have added some layers to it. It's called Blood and Bones, so it's more like we hope to be like a death metal anthem, so kind of, and I think we're really happy with it. I think if you feel like the latest song you do, it's like, this is the best song yet. That's a good sign, because then you're like, it means that you're
progressing. You should, though,
progressing,
right? As an artist, the newest thing that you write or release or record, that should be the thing you are most excited about.
Yeah,
I think it's important.
I mean, if you don't have that feeling, you should probably go back to the drawing table and try to move towards that. I mean,
scratch. Let's start this shit over again. Yeah.
I mean, if you hear an artist or a band say, well, the album before this was the greatest album yet. I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Then why did you record it? Like, no.
Right.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, have you guys heard the new like Lamb of God single, Sepsis?
No, I haven't. No, we haven't.
Oh.
Then you got right off the disc. We will check it out.
Yeah, you've got to go check it out because Lamb of God like has their sound.
Yeah.
This is different. This is very
really?
Like for me when I listened to it, if I didn't hear or if I didn't know Randy's voice, the music is not, to me it's not like a traditional like Lamb of God song. I fucking love it because they're really like pushing boundaries and trying to bring in some new elements to it.
I will check that out. I mean, they have done some really good tracks. I've listened to a lot of Lamb of God as well. I mean, they are awesome. But I will take this new one out. That sounds super interesting, actually.
Yeah, I haven't heard it either. I mean, given their history and having the courage and I mean curiosity to actually go in a new direction, that's cool.
Yeah, more artists should be in my mind, right? Like I love AC/DC, but we have AC/DC. They release the same song 10 times on the same album, every time they release a new album. And it's great.
It's a great song,
it's a great song.
It is. Like, I love AC/DC. They have released a great song. Absolutely. Over and over and over again. And we've got that, and it's great. Like honestly, no slight to AC/DC because they do such a great job at what they do. But I love it when an artist really challenges themselves and tries to grow.
Yeah. But I think like you Gustaf, you mentioned Opeth, which is of course a big inspiration as well. Not to say the least when it comes to the vocals. There are some very brutal growls and then wonderful voice also in parallel. But I mean, Michael Okerfeldt, the vocalist in Opeth, he got a lot of bashing for not growling for a couple of albums, and I mean, I missed him growling on those albums. Yes, I absolutely did. But
did you bash
then again,
him?
No, I have never made any comments about that. But of course, now I love when we saw the last show, he was growling again, and he's been doing that live for the entire time. But then again, you have to give them that. Okay, you need to evolve. You need to explore different areas, and I think that's how it should be. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, and I think that's the hardest thing for bands when they think about their fan base is it doesn't matter what you do, right? If you do the same album over and over and over again, or if you evolve on every album, there are going to be parts of that fan base that shit on you for whatever, and it's, it's so hard to, I think for a band, to come out and release anything. I can only imagine the anxiety behind it at those higher levels. Like, okay, we're going to put this out. What, if I really care, what are people going to say about it?
Yeah. And I think, I mean, that's the luxury we have, right? We can just test some stuff. I mean, for us, it's not even evolving. It's just like figuring out who we are,
Well, but that's part of evolution, right? Like the big bands do it too. They're figuring out new things. They're trying new things. I mean, look at Deftones.
Yeah.
You pick any of their albums and they all sound different. They're very unique to that era in the band.
Yeah.
And they have always done it.
Yeah,
always just been a constant evolution. So there's no like, okay, we released the same album a couple of times.
No. but still, you have some kind of similarity, and I mean, you're familiar with the sound, and you can hear that. Okay, this is Deftones, but okay, this is a different flavor, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. And I think that's where you guys, have that luxury, like Gustaf was saying, is, you can try, you can learn, you can evolve. And what you sound like now, obviously, for me, the first two singles you've released, there's an evolution there. There's a change there that to me is for the positive. So I'm excited to hear Blood and Bones and what that looks and sounds like. Hell yeah. So it's really cool. It's cool for me, being a fucking music nerd like I am, to watch a band honestly in its infancy and to see where you guys go. I'm excited. I love chatting with you because the look on your face when you're talking about the music, there is an excitement there, like a child learning to ride the bike for the first time, like, holy cool shit, this is so, like, oh, we learned this. And so it's really fucking cool, because to me it looks like you guys just love the music. And
we do.
Yeah, I mean,
for us, it's been, I'm doing a lot of, like, in my professional life, when I do a work, there's a lot of, pressure and strategies and all this grown-up shit. But with the music, it's just pure joy. Just when we call each other, Peter and I, or we writing each other, it just makes me happy immediately.
Yeah.
Like whatever, and it's like it's an important part. And then we're going to level up now. I mean, we have some stuff in place, and we have songs, and the new song is going to be awesome. I hope the next one will be even cooler, hopefully. So I think now this is our starting point, but we will just level up and just have fun with it. And I'm really excited about that as well. And it just makes me happy, and it's a really nice feeling.
As it should.
And I think that's one part of being like a bit older, because when I started off playing music, like 13, 14 years old, it was like it was so serious. Everything needed to be so serious. Yeah, it was life and death. I couldn't imagine doing anything else. But then you realize that, okay, there's some other stuff in life as well. But now we have explored that side of life, and now it's really like two kids in the playground when we get together, and
we come to the conclusion there is no other important stuff in life. It's actually this. We were right.
Finally arrived, right?
This is what we should do. So this is full circle. Like, okay, maybe there is other things in life to explore. No, it is not. It's death metal. Let's go. I think that's where we are.
That's it's so awesome though, because so many people, they go their whole lives and they don't figure it out. But when I met my wife, I told her, I said, I need you to understand. I go to a lot of shows. Like, music is my life. Everything else is secondary.
No.
I will love you. I'll love kids, whatever. Music is number one. That is my priority. And she thought, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, right. Within the first year, she's like, holy shit, you were not kidding.
So with our wives, it's the opposite. They are now realizing who they actually married.
And they have their own shots when they talk about
that's funny.
That's funny, actually.
Yeah. Wives are like, these assholes are back in the studio.
What the fuck is up with that?
No, so it's good. It's good.
But they support this, which is really cool, and it's that's got to be like a big undertaking for you, Gustaf, to go, oh, we're gonna write music, and by the way, I'm putting a studio in the house.
In a house, yes.
Like, how do you sell that to your wife?
You have to put it as a business case, I've learned. So let's picture this. It's like But it worked, and I've been lucky. You know, the last, you know, I got a guitar in for birthday. You know, so she's very invested now. You know, so it's good. My wife is my number one, or our number one supporter, and she's not or any like she haven't experienced death metal, you know, before or anything, but she's all in. You know, telling all people about it, sending shirts here and there, and you know, spreading the word. So it's cool. It's really good.
Hell yeah, that's what you need. You need that support system behind you. It's you know that.
Yeah. And it seems like she's getting used to me coming over there now and then and screaming in her living room.
That's totally normal thing.
Like, Peter, you need to do a little better. Honey, will you pass the mashed potatoes, please? Like,
exactly.
Give me coffee.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great. So you guys have Blood and Bones getting mixed right now.
Yeah.
How many other songs do you have behind that?
So, I mean, we have written a few songs, and I've recorded some, you know, sloppy versions of it, so I remember it. And then we have, as soon, I think I will start recording the next song. I will start doing probably next week and getting the riffs and stuff in there, so we can meet and, you know, elaborate and have fun with it and try some stuff out. But from a song like songwriting perspective, we have a lot of songs already recorded as sloppy versions and riffs here and there. So I think we start off with like, yes, let's try to release one every second month. But it's a lot of other stuff goes into it. You need the cover. Are we doing a visualizer? Are we doing a video? How are we going to push it out? And so I think what we've landed in is like once a quarter is probably sustainable, like for us also to get mixed done in a good way. Try some stuff out, and then hopefully, well, as we get better of recording and everything, maybe we can speed that admin or recording phase of getting everything together, because that still takes a lot of time, like exporting. How do you do this and how do you get that? But we get better and better, and I think hopefully it will also speed up the phases of releasing.
When it comes to the lyrics, and usually we go about I mean, now the coming song we Gustaf said in the studio, this needs to be called Blood and Bones, and I basically went with that and started thinking about the theme of the song. And so it's really I mean, the concept of that song is a warrior trying to encourage his troops to before the final battle, basically, and so the chorus is all about them marching over blood and bones through the fields, approaching this final battle. And
you're
that's
here.
usually...
He's gonna win an Oscar, most probably, for best script. You know.
But listen, if you don't do a shirt specific to that,
we will.
Like that song, I'm gonna be pissed off. Like that, I think that would make such a badass like shirt, blood and bones, and this Viking warrior with his freaking shield and hatchet.
Yeah. I can see it. Absolutely.
It's coming. We will send you one. As soon as we have it, we will send one over.
Yeah. I'm gonna hold you to that. Like, hell yeah. I want one. I'd take a poster, dude, and hang it on my wall.
Yeah.
Let's make that happen.
Let's make that happen. And then, I mean, I think that's, you know, I started my career as an illustrator a long time ago. And now you know, we have a lot of people and we do all of different kind of stuff in our company. But for me also, this has been a thing, like going back to drawing, figure stuff out, you know, designing the logo. For me, that's been really fun to do. Just with the visual part of it, like doing beasts and shit, you know, and so that's also been a very important part for me. This, like, you know, really getting back to your 50-year-old. Like, I love death metal. I love drawing, you know, beasts and big dudes and shit and all that. So for me, it's just been going back to that, and it's been really, really fun. Also, the visual part of it, actually. Yeah,
that's super cool. Gustaf, do you find it hard to separate like the marketing brain from the music brain when it comes to it?
Yeah, I mean, I think since we do a lot of this work, I mean, in my company, we do campaigns and concepts and push this stuff out. So for me, I've practiced doing that a lot. Like, you know, this is the business aspect of it, and this is the creative aspect of it. So for me, whenever I work with a band, it's like, oh, this is a fun, safe, creative space. And then I have we talk about like, okay, launching strategies and how we're going to do and doing ads and stuff like that. Then I just go into the other mode. I'm so used to doing that. So for me, it's been okay, you know, to do that. So I think I can switch it up. I think just go in pure fun, play music, drawing, doing all that kind of stuff. And then when we talk to, you know, oh, the schedule of releasing or do we need to do ads or whatever, that's a different part. And I think for me, it's okay to switch. And I try to keep the creative part as free as possible. Just having fun there. And this is where you can play around and do stuff. And then you have this planning, admin part of it that also needs to be done. And I think we help each other out also, like managing, you know, sending stuff out and putting up electronic press kits and stuff like that. So, yeah.
So, Peter, what do you do in your day job?
So I work within IT. So it's a very, I mean, in some ways that's creative, but it's creative in another way, right? So
yeah, where do the ones and zeros go?
Exactly. But I mean, for me, with this project and the band, it's I mean, I love telling stories, and now I can really go into that world and just imagining warriors and beasts and stuff, and it's like I'm allowed to do this. This has a purpose. This will probably or hopefully end up on a song, and so it's it's really a creative outlet in the day to day. And I define myself now as a metal vocalist. I'm taking that and owning that, and
yes.
And so that's that's number one. And then I have some work on the side in the weekdays, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's how we see it now. I also do the same thing. So I just need to deal with, you know, the company and my work there, and you know, solve that. So I then can, you know, write songs and draw beasts and, you know, work on the new T-shirt and stuff like that. So yeah.
And I think since we've been I mean, we're that old now, so we have at least half of our careers behind us, and at least I myself, I'm quite comfortable acknowledging that, okay, this is who I am. I mean, when you start up in the business career, you're more like maybe a bit afraid to really show the full spectrum of who you are. But now, who cares? I mean, if I do some metal on the side, or if I do some IT on the side, I mean, what's what?
Yeah, well, that's, you know, I think that's an important thing. People are really afraid to own what they love or what they are. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a realtor in the day. Like, I sell houses and shit.
Yeah.
People want me to be professional, so I'm professional, right?
Yeah.
Like, do that. And then when it comes to music, I'm like, I don't care. I just like music. Like, I want to talk music. I want to have fun. I want to see what new stuff is really coming down the pipeline, because there's so much music out there, and so much like cutting edge stuff that people really don't, you know, they don't understand. I'm excited for music over the next 20 years. I think a lot of people are gonna be like, whoa, I never thought that would go together.
I think I agree. It's like, it's a lot of stuff coming out, and also it's a lot of exploration right now. I think also in the metal genre, it's like some, and then obviously, then you also know we're a little bit older, and then like some stuff is just like, what? How do they, like? Is it even a tone? You know, or like, is it a scale, or you know? And then, you know, so there's a lot of things happening. But I think also it's cool that this genre is always evolving. The metal genre, and who would thought, right? And now you have so many different genre, like
genres and
metalcore and all this stuff.
subgenres, and like you've got a subgenre, and it's like, hold on, like
and
we could name it till it's dead. You know what I mean? But
exactly. And I think it's so exciting to see that there's still an audience. I mean, there's still an interest, and I mean, guys like yourself exploring what's out there and what's really happening and what's coming. And I think like 10, 15 years ago, there was a lot of talk about, rock is dead and there won't be a need of guitars, but it took a completely different route.
Yeah.
And of course, there's a lot of electronic music, and that's evolving as well. But I'm really happy to see that metal is thriving. It's really
well, they said the same thing in the 80s, right? Like
metal is
dead, punk rock is dead, but the reality is it's not dead. It was just in a different state. There was a lot of like synth wave that came out in the 80s and in 90s. You saw a lot of like alternative and shit like that. But like death metal never fucking went away.
No.
Like,
and I think honestly, like the people who listen to it, I've never met like more. If you go to a show like Amon Amarth, it's everybody is there for the love the music. There's never any issues. Nobody's, there's never any fights or anything. It's like, it's just, everyone is there. And then like that group of people also loyal to the bands, they buy stuff, they're in the universe, and they, so I think it's also nice to be in that genre for the people,
because music is a unifier.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we have so many things that divide us in our everyday life. When we go there, nothing matters. It doesn't matter your color of skin or your religious belief or your political affiliation, which are all the things right now that are so fucking rampant, at least over here. So much hate. I love it. I love it for that reason. That's why, when my children were old enough, I introduced them into the world. Like, hey, my daughter, when I think she was 9, we went to go see Max and Igor Cavalera doing the Roots album.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fucking great. She goes, people don't think I'm weird. I'm like, honey, everyone here is weird. It's okay. Like, good. She's like, oh, I fucking love this. I'm like, yes, this is why I do it, right?
And I think I have a funny story because last time went to Arch Enemy. We went there, had the T-shirt and everything, and then one day before, our accountant was at the office, and like we were having suits and talked about this is what we need to do, and I'm like, fuck, I recognize this dude. So then I met the accountant. He was there, also wearing the shirt, and we was like, "Fuck yeah, high five!" And then we went, So I think, like, that also proves it, right? That there is.
Gustaf froze.
It did.
I think it's just a nice vibe. Yeah.
Now we're back.
Yeah, he froze for a good like 3 or 4 seconds.
But it was in a good spot. It was like a dramatic pause. Just
did I froze?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
You're good. I was like, oh shit, and Peter wasn't moving, and I'm like, oh shit, am I losing my internet? And then he talked, and I'm like, yes,
good.
But it's great to have that. I think for people. I like music overall, and I go to a lot of different kinds of shows. And I went to a show with a band that I don't like. Like because my wife loves Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah, okay.
It's not like she's like, you're gonna really enjoy it. And we went, and I'm gonna tell you, I didn't make it 2 songs, and I had the absolute worst time. And it wasn't because of the music; it was because of the people.
All right.
I thought, if this is what going to a Dave concert is, you'll never see me at a Dave concert. Like it was absolutely miserable.
All right. Yeah,
And I think, yeah, but that also shows, right? The music, like the connection you have with the music and the people listening to it, to the band, that's where like the magic happens, right?
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's obviously that's also why in the future someday you know, it would be nice to play live. You know, that's obviously one of our goals.
You know, it'd be really cool to make your first show over here in the States.
Yeah, maybe that's what we're going to do.
absolutely.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
I'm game. For
Yeah,
sure.
we sleep in your basement, Tom, and then we take it from there.
Cool. There's a number of clubs within like a 10-minute drive of where I live. We'll make it
Sounds
happen.
excellent.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Sell some cool shirts, and yeah, we're game.
January, you gotta be here January 9th. I've already set the date. January 9th.
Yeah.
Excellent. then we have a couple of months to practice, and then let's go.
Rehearse. Good. Yes, it's good. And also, we need to convince our wives. They will also probably need to come along, and the kids. And let's see how we do that. But yeah.
Oh yeah. No kids. You don't want to bring the kids. I promise. Don't bring the kids. Like leave them with grandma and grandpa or whatever. Yeah.
Good.
That's so great. Okay. Gustaf, Peter, guys, thank you so much for your time. I've had a fucking great time chatting with you both.
Likewise.
Thank you so much for having us. This means a lot to us, and yeah, really appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to hear Blood and Bones. Like I'm really excited for that. So you know,
as the minute we have it out, Tom, we will send it over. Promise.
Hell yeah. Good.
Yeah.
I'll send it to my buddy. Be like, hey dude, check this out. And he'll be like, oh, this is so rad. I'm like, yes. Yes, it is.
Good.
All right,
excellent.
Guys, go spend some time with your families. I know it's a little bit past 9 for you right now.
Yeah.
So again, thank you. Hope you guys have a great night, and we should do this again.
Yes, please.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for taking the time.
Have a nice day, man.
You guys too. See ya.
Take care.